All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Before we get into this, let me know in the comment section below. Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can see me. This is live, so you guys know there is really nothing professional here in the Jarhead 6 channel. We're just having a good time. So if anything is going crazy, let us know in the comment section below. I'm excited about this one because I got a good guy here, Valentine from the Valentine Show. What's up, bro?
Yes, man. Feeling good, man. Feeling excited to be on your channel, man. We're gonna have a good time today. We're gonna have a good time tonight.
You know it, bro. And I'm actually pretty excited that you're here because I've been watching your channel for quite some time. I like it. You put a lot of work into your channel, and it's just the dedication. And it's nice to see guys that are just, putting information out there in the conservative side, because all we see is nonsense. So when somebody like you puts out a video that I agree, I kind of feel like I'm not alone. You know what I'm saying?
That's what the whole movement is about, to be honest. It's about letting people out there that there are more people like you. There's more people that think the same. There's more people that want the same. The only problem is that we are, as they call us, the silent majority, right? And we are very hardworking individuals, and sometimes we don't want to cause too much problems, so that's why they don't hear a lot about us. But there has to be people that has to rise up in between the midst of us and just spread the word. That's it. We got to spread the word.
You got it, man. You got it. So, all right. So before we get into this, check it out. Check in the description below. Make sure you subscribe to the Valentine Show. Excellent channel. He actually has two channels. So he has one in English and he has one in Spanish. And here's the thing that I like about the one in Spanish, man, is that you guys know that the whole, all these Democrats are targeting all these demographics. So, and specifically for the Hispanic side, it's just great that there's a conservative talking to the Spanish people, because let's face it, it is a good majority, not majority, but it's a good section of the American people. And it's good to have people like you that love this country, that love the Constitution, that love the Second Amendment, that love all the stuff that we love, telling Hispanics, hey, this is the deal. And, if you speak Spanish, obviously subscribe to that channel as well. If you don't speak Spanish, you're going to find yourself kind of weird, man. Like, what is this guy saying?
100%. We got to let the people know out here. We are immigrants. But we are proud to be and glad we are in America. We appreciate and we know what America stands for in the world. And we want to let everybody else know that you're blessed to be in this country, that literally people are dying, crossing the desert to come to this country. We got to let the people know about that, man.
That's right, man. So before we get into it, a couple shout outs. Mattel, my Marine brothers in the house. Semper to you, sir. Always great to see you. AOG is in the house as well. Great to see you, sir. Lincoln, hola. What's going on? Hope you're doing good. Who else? Let me see. A couple other Marines. You got to say hi to the Marines, man. Semper Fi, Devil Dog, hoorah. Let's see who else. Throw Punch is in the house. Appreciate you watching. Beautiful Stacy is in the house. That's my wife, so I can say that. So thank you for watching, ma'am. We appreciate your support to the Jarhead 6 channel. And Richard's in the house. I mean, a bunch of guys. Army of God is in the house. God is in control. Trust no one. Oh, man, what a statement, man. So, again, I appreciate all you guys watching, Keith, Jason. And I think we're going to have a pretty good conversation. I got couple things that I want to talk about, but before I get into that, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Very, very important that you subscribe. You share the videos. Sharing the videos is, to me, is better than liking the videos. Just share the video, share somewhere, Facebook, all that. Make sure you subscribe to the Valentine Show. It's awesome. And obviously, if you want to support the channel, you could become a patron. There's like a little thing. I just figured out how to put that little thing down there. I'm professional right now, baby. Professional. So anyways, if you want to support the channel, down there as well. Got a couple topics that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about a shooting that happened with a little kid named Cannon. We want to talk about a pastor in California. Man, I'm going to tell you, these people in California are upsetting me, man. Really, really upsetting me. That is pretty much saying, you know what, I don't care. Is the Grace Community Church. They're pretty much saying, hey, we don't care about COVID-19 and whatever. We care about COVID-19. I'm going to get into that. But this thing where the government is telling us that we can't worship the Lord, we have an issue with that, right? There's already a bunch of requirements that they're following. and we're gonna talk about that as well. And we're gonna talk about James Younger, which is a kid that mom wants to say that he's a little girl, and the dad just lost custody, and I mean, this is horrific. This is by far one of the most horrific things that I seen in 2020. I mean, little kid, 7 years old, and mom has decided that she wants to turn this little kid into a girl, and whatever else combines, right? Whatever else, maybe gun control, maybe Q&A. If you guys got any questions, definitely put it down below. We definitely appreciate that. So, what do you think about this thing, man? Cannon, little boy, 5 years old, was riding a bicycle, and out of nowhere, this dirtbags just shot him in the head and killed him, man. I saw the video, and man, I mean,
there's a
horrible
video out there.
Yeah, there's actually not a video of the guy
Uh-huh.
or the kid getting shot, but
Yeah.
it's actually a video of the dad describing how he felt,
Oh
when
man.
he heard. Dude, I watched this and it was devastating, man. He's saying how he heard the shot. He walked outside. He saw, I guess he saw the kid laying down in the floor, and at that point he realized that, obviously what happened, and I mean, it was just crazy, man. I mean,
Just imagine, man. I mean, and let's take it back from the beginning, right? So this guy, again, according to what the media reports are saying, is that this guy just straight up walked up to this little kid in front of his two sisters. On top of that, right? I think 7 and 8 years old.
mhm.
Points the gun, pulls the trigger. I mean, this is like, where's the like? What is the logic? What is the reason? Why? Like, there is no absolute reason. You're gonna try to go crazy trying to find a reason, and then to think about the father, right, and the mother
Mhm.
hearing this. And one of the reports that I said is that the father couldn't give a statement to the media because he couldn't, emotionally speaking.
Yeah.
Just think about this, man. I mean, America is crazy, man. This virus, right, has brought up some craziness about who's really surrounding us, right?
Yeah.
And some of the filth that's out there, which is insanity, right? I mean, it almost made me cry, to be honest.
Mhm.
Again, I'm a man, but hey, listen, man, I'm a father too, and just thinking about, it's horrible losing a kid at any age, and imagine losing a kid that you should have had lost,
Right.
right? And the way that with the savagery, this is crazy,
And
Fabian.
yeah, and apparently this they knew each other. Apparently they were neighbors for quite some time. They knew each other. I even heard something like the suspect, well, not the suspect, this dirtbag actually went to the person's house at one point, or maybe they had dinner or something. I mean,
He
they
he
knew each
was in
other.
I think it says that he was in the house that afternoon, and then
Wow.
2 days before, he was in the house having dinner.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, we still need to find a little bit more details to find out exactly the reason why. Because I mean, it doesn't make sense. This is an individual that you actually trust enough to bring into the house, right? So in this day and age, you don't bring anybody into the house, right?
No.
To
Yeah.
bring this individual into the house, and then for this same individual to do what he did, I mean, it's just
Mm-hmm.
it's insanity. There is actually, and I have to say this because some people might hear this. There's actually a false police report running around the internet,
Mm-hmm.
imitating the police station over there, or the police department over there,
Right.
saying some crazy false evidence and false thoughts and all that. So there is one now saying that that the facts are different than what the media is reporting, but that
Mm-hmm.
account is actually a fake account impersonating the police department. So beware of that.
Wow. Well, here's the thing, man, and I don't think, obviously the media is not covering this, and what the reason why I'm seeing a lot of YouTubers talking about this is obviously because the guy who killed the kid was a black guy, and the kid is a little white kid, 5 years old. So if they would have been the other way around, obviously it would have been all over the place. This how would have been, used as whatever, like the white man is trying to bring us down, like they always
I,
say.
I'm glad you brought that up, man.
Hmm.
To be honest, I'm glad you brought that up, because this is why it's not about pitting black against white or white against black. It's not
Hmm.
about that. It's about seeing the media bias in here. And a lot of people are waking up, and I'm glad they are, right? A lot of people are
Mm-hmm.
waking up and seeing the media bias. Change the races up, make the kid black, and make the shooter white. And we will be talking about this 24/7, 7 days a week. Uh, 365 days. We'll be talking this about constantly. Everybody will be
Constantly.
talking about this. I told my wife this story. She didn't even know about this story.
Yep. Because
How
it
is that
hasn't
even?
made national news.
And she watches the news and she didn't even know about the story. So I'm like, okay, so what's going on? Is there being covered up? And this is how the media is
Mhm.
manipulating a whole bunch of people. I mean, it's insanity, man.
Right.
But
I liked,
what can we do, bro?
and this is one thing that I say though. I like that all these YouTubers, and this is why the power of YouTube is so important because you have so many guys, and people don't realize this that we get tons of views. We get tons of views, and we have all these guys coming here talking about this and bringing some kind of awareness into this issue because some of these channels that have 1 million subscribers, they literally get more views than some of these news outlets. So again, when I saw the interview and when I was reading and doing a little bit of research, I mean, it wasn't racial at all. It was not, or as far as we know, it wasn't racial. It wasn't not like
Mhm.
the guy hated white guys and he wanted
Yeah,
to
yeah,
do
yeah.
that, but it was pure evil, man. And
Mhm.
I mean, it's really sometimes we talk about this, man, and we want to get the answers why this happened. And this is biblical, man. This is literally biblical because the Bible says the devil comes to kill. Because there's really no other explanation. Like who in the right mind gets up, gets a gun, and kill a kid? That's just not something that a regular person do. So this have to be to me when I see things like this and people want to explain it. Why did this happen? This is the work of the devil, man. This is pure devil right there.
For the people that don't know, since I'm new on basically here on
Hmm.
this channel, a lot of you guys don't know me. I'm Christian. I'm 100% Christian. I'm not
Hmm.
half Christian. I'm not three quarters of a way Christian. I'm fully Christian. I am Christian. I don't curse. I trust Jesus first. I'm not one of these Christians who say they're Christians and then they're saying another thing. You try to
That's us.
find
You're fully
you try
Christian.
to find you
I
fully.
love
You
that,
gotta,
dude.
yo, Fabian, you have to let
You,
these people know because people don't know. People, you tell them Christian, and you see some people that call themselves Christian. They're supporting abortion and
uh,
matching and marching with LGBT flags. You gotta tell them nowadays. Fabian, we're in 2020. We gotta let them know.
yeah.
We gotta let these people
Oh
know
man.
because those are just the facts, right? So I'm 100% Christian, right? And you try to look for an answer to some of these evil deeds, right? For example, people like you and like a lot of your fellow subscribers, right, that
Hmm.
have had that, that have been in war and know what is war about. You guys have
Hmm.
seen some horrible things that people don't want to even see. People don't want to even hear the stories of, right? And you
Hmm.
try to rationalize this, and that's why sadly a lot of people that have served get a lot of this post-traumatic stress because their mind, right, is trying to rationalize something that is more than human logic, right? And
Hmm.
that's more than human logic is actually for you, for me, for a lot of the people that are Christian, know that it's called evil. There is no
Yeah.
logic to walking up to a
Mm-mm.
5-year-old and shooting him right in the head at point blank range. There is no logic for an individual to grab a weapon, get on the top of one of the top floors of
Hmm.
a hotel in Vegas and just spray and shoot down. There is no logic to kill as many people like that, right? The only logic that there is actually called the devil, which came to destroy and kill and cause chaos. Hence,
That's
that's all
right.
he's here for, is just to kill people. And that's the only answer for that, man.
Yeah, yeah. I don't see anything else, man. It's truly insane. So, I mean, this is why it's so important to live in prayer constantly, every single moment. Every single moment we got to be in prayer because I mean, literally, think about this. We have children. Our children are playing and this is in Wilson, North Carolina. My mom used to live in Wilson, North Carolina. I've been there many times, right? When it was about maybe like an hour and a half or 2 hours from the base when I was stationed in Cambridge, North Carolina.
Mm,
And I don't remember being a horrible place, me personally. But
yeah.
um, again, your kids are playing outside and your neighbor that you know, that you see every single time. I mean, what is, even, for us here in the gun community, we're like, oh, we carry a gun and this and that. But if you see your neighbor, I see my neighbor all the time. You would have never expected that to
From
do something against this little kid. It's just insane, man.
the neighbor that's eating dinner with you, bro. He's
Yeah.
eating dinner with you. You wouldn't expect it from the neighbor that you just say hello to in the morning, right? You've seen him for 5 years, right? You would not even this thought wouldn't even pass through your mind that the neighbor
Mm-mm.
that ate with you 2 days prior is going to shoot your 5-year-old son in the head.
No, no. And again, I like to bring this up because I know a lot of YouTubers are doing it, and because they want to bring attention to it. But this is the thing that I'm talking about. When you see this media and when you listen to the media, you no longer can just grab a section of media and that's it. You have to watch all these different channels and then come out with your own decisions, because if this would have been the other way around, there will be riots. There will be, peaceful protests, right? There will be destruction all over the place.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing that happened with George Floyd, right? So again, not saying that the guy deserved to die or have a knee to the back of his neck for 8 minutes. I'm not saying that all the time, but what I'm saying is that there are so many different things that happen in this call. Now that we see the video, we saw that he's the one who pretty much put himself on the floor. The police officers, for the most part, they conducting themselves, okay. It wasn't like crazy anything out of that. Now we know that he had fentanyl. He had every drug in the system that you may know. Again, I'm not saying by no means, and again, then the autopsy is saying that the cop didn't kill him. There's one that says that it did kill him. There's one that says it didn't kill him. I'm just saying there's so many different factors that it would be great if we could get the information. We could chill for a second, see what happened, and then actually make a decision. Because as of right now, so many people has been killed as a result of this protest. And then we're looking up, like Black Lives Matters, but some of these people that have died are black people, like the captain in yeah, most. So the captain in Missouri. I mean,
Oh my
what
God,
on St.
man.
Louis? He was a retired police officer that served his country, owned a business, and he was murdered for what? He didn't do anything.
It's
He was
insane.
minding his own business. Somebody looted his store and they kill him. And now we know that. I mean, again, I'm not. People get into this all the time. I'm not saying that what the cop did was right or wrong or what it was. Which, by the way, the technique that he used was policy. That's just to put it out there. I was a military policeman. I was in many different fights. I dealt with a lot of people resisting arrest. I would have never go that way, me personally. But again, we jump the hood, we burn down cities, we destroy total community, we kill so many different people. Cops are being harassed, cops are being ambushed, and we don't even know what happened. And now, as the information is coming out, it's not like it was, like the guy, didn't resist it. The guy was a criminal. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, so many bad things against him, but the damage was already run. How many people have died in the name of an innocent person, supposedly, that we don't
Again,
even know?
it comes down to the media, to be honest, and I think the media has a power that needs to be checked. To be honest, I believe that media has a power that needs to be checked. I have a brother who has never voted in his life, has never voted.
Mm.
He doesn't know the difference between a Republican and a Democrat, has no clue what that is, right? Yet he's seen, because he's watching the videos, right? He's watching the news report. He's seen how there's a huge media bias in the
Mm-hmm.
way that they treat the president of the United States, right? So there's media bias towards that, and then there's media bias as to what information is covered and given to the folks. I'm gonna tell you right now, most people, I believe, this is just my personal
Mm-hmm.
opinion, I believe that most people they don't do their research.
Right.
They receive anything. So for example, if I was to tell them right now, you're seeing a great coffee cup right now, but if the media comes out and says that this is a pink coffee cup,
That's
most
it.
people will believe it because the
Mm-hmm.
media tells it to them, and the media is always right according to them. So they feed the media, they frenzy up the citizenry, right? The people, they frenzy them
Mm-hmm.
up, and because again they're in the business of likes and views and shares. That's what their business model is. They need to get the most eyeballs, and the way that they do it is by monetizing strategy.
Yep.
That's what they do it. I mean, and you got to
Well,
see there's so many important information, and then they just to have the people going crazy out here, man.
well, a lot of people see something on Facebook and all they did was, scroll down. I mean, literally, they went like this with the finger. They saw something, and now like they want to make decisions basing emotions. I don't
and
make decisions basing emotions.
and then they share it on top of that.
Yeah, and then the sure, it's like if you go to a dealer and you see a beautiful, I ride bikes, right? I got my Road King 2005. That's what I was able to afford. I'm very happy with it. But you go to the dealer and you see that new bike and it's $27,000, and you may jump on it, but you know what? Maybe it's not the right decision. You need to go home and think about it, right? Because
Cool off, make a decision on a cool mind, right? And then say, wait, let's think about those monthly payments first.
I know. I remember I told my brother-in-law back. Yeah, I don't know. It been years already. He bought a Camaro, beautiful car, right? And Manny was like three. No, Manny was. Stacy was still pregnant. Manny's 3.5 now, almost 4 years old. And I looked at him. I said, "Hey, bro, chill. Think about this because you see your sister. She had a big belly." I was like, by the time that the baby is 6 years old, you're still paying for that car. So chill. Let's think about this. But I kind of learned that already. And a lot of times people make decisions and emotions, and that may not be the best choice. Or in the name of safety, I heard that. Well, in the name of safety, we need to do this. Well, that's not necessarily what I want to do. Safety, which we're gonna get into this preacher right here. But just because you may think that you're safe, it doesn't mean I'm gonna give away all my rights for your safety. I don't know. I may get a little bit more into that. I know that's a heavy topic, but all right, let's jump into this. Again, guys, if you're watching here, there's about 27, 26 people watching. Make sure you subscribe to the Valentine Show. It's going to be in the link down below. There's a comment pin. Click in there, subscribe to his channel, and let's push. Go and watch one of his videos and put a comment and share one of his videos in Facebook. Pick one, whichever, on Twitter. Share somewhere. Grab his videos and share because we need to have more. If you happen to like conservative people, more out there spreading the information. I'm gonna tell you, man, I got upset about this one, and I actually watched the interview about this pastor, and it was so powerful what he said, man. I had a Bible verse that I wanted to tell you too. Man, I took a picture of it. But anyways, so the deal here is that he's following California regulation. His name is John MacArthur. Yeah, and he's defying the COVID-19 lockdown. And his church is called Grace Community.
Grace Community Church.
Right,
Grace Community
right.
Church in Los Angeles, California.
All right. So what do you know about him?
John MacArthur, for the people that don't know who John MacArthur is, he's actually a theologian. He's a theologian. It's just somebody who knows a lot about the Bible and has studied it, right? Has all the credentials to prove all that stuff, right? And he's actually a very powerful preacher. I follow John MacArthur for a while now, and he's a very extremely biblically sound individual. And yep, that's him right there. That's the preacher's pulpit right there. Very famous. Everybody that sees that preacher's pulpit know exactly what they're looking at. Well, they were doing exactly what the state told them to. They were down with the lockdown when they had estimates of 2 million dead and all that stuff. They canceled church. They were in their homes. They were doing all that stuff, right? They were streaming from their church. Nobody was going to the church, right? Okay, no problem. Then he saw that the people on their own, he didn't even tell them, started to come back to the church. Okay,
right.
No problem. He had a tent outside, I think it was, and they just started coming back. They wanted to keep back because this is what something that you guys got to think about. And you can apply this to this life again. It doesn't even have to be whether you're Christian or not. It applies to a whole bunch of things in your life. What is an essential business? Can somebody give me the definition of that? What is essential? What is it? Something that is essential to you is not essential to me. Something that is essential to me is not essential to you. Who decides that? The state decides what's essential? I don't think so. I mean, I just don't think that the state knows exactly what's essential to me. They don't know who I am. Right. They don't know what's essential to me. And his question was that, isn't spiritual health essential to some people? And of course it is. Actually, we Christians believe that essential health, that actually that spiritual health is the most essential thing that there is.
Oh my
Um,
Lord, yes.
so people started coming back to the church. He had to open the church. Then the numbers, according to the people dead, right? In California, is like there's like 40 million.
Mm-hmm.
There were like over like 100 and something, like 100,000 people there. So that would put the death rate around like 0.2%. So it wasn't
Mm-hmm.
anywhere near what the professionals were saying, right? The people that knew that were in February, they were telling you, hey, don't put on a mask. It's not necessary. This is going to go away. And Nancy Pelosi was in Chinatown in Los Angeles, I think it was,
Mm-hmm.
or San Diego, telling people, no, come to Chinatown because everything is good. Don't worry about this virus. There's no
I
problem.
remember that.
Yeah, you remember that, right?
Yep.
Now they're trying to blame Trump for it, but they were doing the same thing too because they were following the profession. Again, and I put this that way you guys see it. The professionals, they were following
Yep.
the professionals' advice. And now everything switches. Now you got to put on the mask. Now you got to do this. Now you got to do this. Meanwhile, so the death rate is not the same. Look at and this is something that you guys got to think about. Look at that. The infection rates are climbing, right? Without a question.
Mm-hmm.
Where are the deaths at? There's no death. There's not the same amount of people dying like they were in New York. I'm in New York. There was days where 700 people were dying in New York because there was the death zone. That's not happening anymore yet. The infection rates are climbing. So what is going on? So John MacArthur saw this, right? And he says like, okay, the people want to come to church. It's not really that serious. I'm opening up my church.
He called it a peaceful protest.
2 Sundays ago, I think it was a Sunday or 2 Sundays ago, he says, welcome to Grace Community Church, peaceful protest. That's the spirit we need, to be honest. In conservatism and in Christianity in general, is the spirit of we want to follow what the government says. As a matter of fact, the Bible says that, like in Romans 13, follow what the government says. But once the government is telling you to do something, like California was telling them, you can sing in church.
That's ridiculous.
These protests, Fabian, these protests that are going on, right? There's nobody saying, oh, don't stop the protest or anything like that. These protests can go around. As a matter of fact, there's some studies that came out that said that the protests do not propagate the coronavirus. Do you believe that?
Yeah. Well, the thing about this is that when we see some of this, like they say, well, some of these Christians are not following some of the requirements. They already are. Like you said, he was live streaming for weeks, and then people start showing up. So now we're trying to regulate people. People have the right to make their decisions. And if people wants to go there, they could do that. But what I'm saying is that for weeks he was live streaming, people start showing up, and then there is requirements. Like we go to church. My church has requirements. For a while it was like, hey, like we actually broke, you actually have the lines or chairs or whatever. We broke him down. One will sit over there, one is sit over here. I mean, there was a good distance. There were people wearing masks, which in these churches they're already a minimum capacity. So these people, this Christian churches are following as much as they can requirements given by the government. So it's not like they're saying, screw this, I'm going to do whatever I want. But then as we see in everything that we do, you see the government taking a little bit more and a little bit more. And now they're telling you can sing. Like, are you kidding me? You telling me that I'm not allowed to sing a song? I don't care if it's a Christian song or I don't listen to rap, but if I would live rap or hip hop or something, I don't. You telling me that I cannot sing in a building that happens to be mine? There's churches on the buildings, And again, what are you telling me, man? It doesn't even make sense. You are stopping me from speaking or from singing. I mean, like, are we really doing this? Because the particles that comes out of my mouth, I already have a mask on. So supposedly, if I'm wearing this mask, I'm supposed to be good, right? Superman. So the particles are not escaping my mouth because I'm wearing this stupid mask you're telling me to wear. So I'm already sacrificing my rights, to comply with the law. And this is what happened. The next thing you tell me is that I can't sing and I can't worship God. Now, you know this, I know this, and many guys here in the channel know this. How important is to worship the Lord.
Yes.
That's my favorite part of the message, man. I love the worship part, right? So you want me to stop worshiping my God, because you say the particles of my mouth is gonna, contaminate me. No, man. I believe in a God that raised Lazarus from the death. My God walk on water, man. I
Man.
mean, I don't need you to tell me. I mean, this is nonsense. And again, it's the whole hypocrisy of California is getting out of control, defunding the police, crime rising, cops literally standing outside stores while stores are being looted, and they don't do anything because the politicians tell them not to do anything, right? So
They have handcuffed the cops, man. They handcuffed them, man.
mhm, it's insane. But you know what? Here's the pastor said this. I mean, we know this. If you're a Christian man, you know this. You will be hated for believing in Christ. I mean, the Bible is very specific on this, and every man is going to come into something like that. They hate you because you love Christ. That's it. Don't forget that, right? So I wanted to share this. The pastor actually said this. It says Acts 4:18-20 says, then they called them again. I mean, this is the Pharisees calling, I believe who's calling let me see, Peter and John. So they call him off for a little meeting, right? We're gonna have a meeting here in their church, right? And he says, they command them not to speak or teach at all in the name of Jesus. So the
Ooh.
first is call him Peter and John and say, hey, I need you to come here to our church and we're going to command you. Now, think about this. This is tyrannical right there. These people were the government back in those days. This is the government, right? So they commanding Peter and John not to speak about Jesus. And Peter and John reply, which is right in God's eye, to listen to you or to him. You be the judges. As for us, we cannot help but speaking about what we have seen and heard. So in other words, Peter and John says, I don't, what is right for me to listen to you, listen to God. We're going to talk about the things that we have seen and the things that we have heard. But this is tyrannical right here. We see California, which by the way, I mean, the cost of living there is insane. They tax the crap out of people. And they're telling you can't even sing in church. This is beyond understanding, bro.
It's crazy because, for example, I play instruments, right? So I play in my church and I play the guitar, and I was playing when was it, last Sunday, right? No, the Sunday before. And man, if you were to go in the church, you'll think that there's nothing going on outside, right? There's no pandemic going on because the people are literally joyful. They're happy, right? They're content that they're there. They're dancing around. They're clapping. They're doing this. It's like a party, right? And you're gonna take this health aspect of these individuals for them to gain this, to get this health aspect of them actually being happy, and you want them to be sad and depressed, and people like you seeing the suicide have gone up, etc., etc., etc. I mean, it's insane, man. The control of the government. We are called to accept to follow the rules of the government, but until that government is not telling us to break the laws of God, plain and simple. And like I said, and I like to make this point very clear. This is not a Christian thing only.
Right.
When they come for us, they will come for you too. They will come for whatever doesn't agree with their way of thinking. I mean, and they will come for everybody, plain and simple.
Yeah. And here's the thing. I want to make this last point on this topic too. Churches are getting hit big time. I know Richard was talking about this at one point. My church got hit too. Probably your church too. People lost their job. People are not, giving money to the church. Many people are not because they don't have work.
Yeah, that's the facts.
And the churches are closing, for a period doing this, and the rent doesn't stop. Like we pay, I don't know how much we pay in my church, but we pay a lot of money. More than I pay for mortgage. I mean, we pay a ton of money, and obviously is a place that needs to have money to continue. Now, the good Lord provides. We know that. The good Lord provides. But in a way, I feel like this places are closing down the churches because they know that they want to bring the churches out of business. in a way. It's like if we keep you closed for a few months, how long can you sustain the church into the church has to close the doors because they don't have people donating money. Obviously, some people, send money online and things like that. Actually, I like to just send money online because it's easier.
Yeah.
PayPal, and I don't have to worry about putting money in the little thing
You and me
and all
both,
that.
man. That's
Yeah.
exactly the way I do it too.
Yeah, and I don't do I try to. I'm not saying I don't do it, but I try to just do it like once a month instead of like every Sunday, like get some money to put in the basket. But
Yeah.
again, every person give the money. We're not talking about giving money or how much money you give or anything like that. But what I'm saying is that these churches have these places have churches closed, and the churches are actually being affected because people are not coming to listen to the word of God, and some people are not donating money, and there's older people that don't know how to do. Like my church is a lot of older people. They don't know how to go to PayPal and so they actually sending mail. Like they actually send mail with checks to the church because they
They
don't
don't
know how to do that stuff.
they don't know how to find the live stream on Facebook. I mean, just that simple
Yeah.
thing. They don't know how to do it, and it's true. Let me tell you the story of my church. My church, we this Saturday upcoming, I'm going to help the church move because we're
Mm-hmm.
going to a church where there's another church there, and we're gonna be sharing the location because again, lack of funds. I mean, and this is something that it's real. I mean,
Yep.
it's affecting the churches.
And it goes back to every business out there. Like government is telling business owners to stop. Like you can't have a business or through this. Well, these people work all their life to open a restaurant. And they probably save money for 5-6 years, and then you're gonna close down my restaurant, and then what do I do? Where do I get money? Right now we saw the politicians taking a vacation. They couldn't come to a business. They couldn't come to an agreement, and they went home to take a vacation while many millions of Americans are unemployed, and these people are rich. So they're not worried about feeding their kids. They're not worried about none of the stuff that me and you worry, right? Like money, mortgage, and all. They don't have to like Pelosi and even President Trump. They don't worry about those things, right? They
Didn't
just write a check, and that's
did,
it. It's
didn't
done.
you see Pelosi's what was it, her fridge about a month ago when they were talking about some interview and she's showing the people about how many flavors of ice cream she has on her fridge. She's like so disconnected from reality, like from the rest of America that's suffering from the money. Yet this is the same woman they taking vacations. Everybody and not only them, but Republicans also. Let's get it. The whole
Yeah,
Congress,
everyone.
they're taking vacation while America is still suffering and America is going evicted. I mean, it's the disconnect is huge, but they blame it all on Trump.
Trust in God. Don't trust some people.
Amen. That's exactly right, man.
Yeah.
And we might be talking about this, all these different things that are affecting us, but humanity. But our viewpoint is a kingdom
Mm-hmm.
first mentality, right? We understand secondarily what happens in the world that we live in, but we understand that true answers come from God.
Yes. Amen to that. All right. Let's see. This thing right here, man, is I'm gonna tell you this before I get into this last story that I want to cover. Appreciate everybody that is watching. Make sure you share the video. Share the video. Click that share and share the video. Subscribe to the Valentine Show. It's in the description below. Subscribe to the channel if it's the first time you come here. I see a lot of guys here, putting comments. Some of the guys for the first time. And Angelo just baptized his cell and his family, his children. Man, what an amazing decision, bro.
Wow, the
I
best
mean,
decision ever.
the best decision ever, man. Really, really an amazing decision. I remember when I baptized, myself and then my children, I was able to be there and do the whole thing with the pastor. It was so awesome, man. I don't know. Sometimes when I see people getting baptized, I want to get baptized again. It's exciting, though. Like I just want to jump in the water and let's do this again, man, because this is awesome, dude. But anyways,
I heard some people do that when they take the trip to Israel. I heard that people since they're there, they like I guess redo the baptism or like something commemorative,
Yeah, why not? It's awesome. I love it, But anyways, let's get into this. This story right here is literally disturbing. So what we got here, apparently this has been going on for quite some time. Several, maybe months or maybe years by now. So what we got here, this kid is 7 years old now, and mom and dad are divorced. And essentially, mom that happens to be a doctor. This is the thing about it, man. These people are supposed to be educated people. That's why, just because you have a college degree, you ain't wise at all. That doesn't
Mm-mm.
that supposed to make you wise, but you're not. I don't know if that make any sense. Some of these doctors are just unbelievable, man. They what comes out of the mouth is like I don't even want to hear, right? So just because you have a degree, it doesn't mean you're smart at all. You could be just insane like this. So what we have here is mom and dad got separated. His name is Jeff Younger, and the kid's
Mhm.
name is James. And mom decided that she wants to get this kid and start transition the boy into a girl. Now, she enrolled him as, I think it was pre-K or kindergarten, enroll him as the name of Luna into the
Luna.
school.
Yep.
Obviously, Doc kind of flipped out about this, and he said, "You know what? No, we ain't doing this." They went to court, but just recently this month, I believe, he actually lost the case. So now we
Mhm.
have a judge that actually agree on this 7-year-old to, start this process to transition into a girl. Insane, brother. I don't even know where to start. I mean, you got any thoughts on this? Because
This
this is
is
insane, bro.
this is crazy. This is a little boy who he doesn't even know what his favorite color is.
Mm-hmm.
But according to the mother, he knows that he wants to be a girl.
Mm-hmm.
This is where we at. I mean, and I mean, and it's crazy because it's really important to know where these things are coming from, right?
Yeah.
There's as a Christian, we don't have anything against the LGBT movement. Um, God gave you free will. That doesn't mean that for those free will, those choices that you make, there will be consequences for those
Yeah.
choices. And God calls homosexuality, He calls that sin against what He decided, against His plan. I don't care about that. The problem that I have, the big problem is what something that I call the LGBT movement militant agenda, which is
Mm-hmm.
is more than a sexual ideology. It's an actual political, a huge political
Mm-hmm.
international lobby to lobby governments and to lobby politicians and to lobby school districts. Man, I wish I had the book. It's probably around
Mm-hmm.
here somewhere. I got a book in my home. Give me 1 second. Let me get it. Give me 1 second. It's right
Yeah.
here. I want to show these guys this. 2 seconds.
All right. If anybody's watching out there and you guys got any comments, put it in the comment section below, and I try to answer any comments. Well, let's see. Valentine's almost back.
All right.
There you are, brother.
I want to show you guys this. I received this book in my home, and you guys explain to me because I've been trying to see how I'm explaining it to my 5-year-old son. How do I explain to him this? Look at the name of this book right here. It's called Families, Families, Families. How
Mm-hmm.
do I explain to them this page right here?
Let me see. Let
Some
me put you in the big screen right here. 1 second. Okay, I
All
got you in
right,
the big
you
screen.
got it. My
Yeah.
adobo film, man. My adobo is very important, man. The adobo go.
Put that
how,
everywhere, man, and that chicken.
how do I explain to them this? Some children have two dads. How do I
Mm,
tell my 5-year-old son that some children has two dads when he's in a home where there's a mother and a dad here?
yep.
And it keeps going. How do I tell them this, right? Let me see here what it says here. Some children have two moms. So
Mm-hmm.
this movement, this what I call this LGBT political movement, right, is infiltrating schools and is getting into the minds of these kids. And these kids who don't know their favorite color, who don't know anything, are being told that, hey, one of the things that you could do is choose to be a girl, or if you're a girl, you could choose to be a boy. Why are we telling these kids sexual identities? Why are we telling them about sexuality at such a young age?
Yeah.
These kids are being
Abuse.
gender, basically gender
Mm-hmm.
dysphoria is being implemented into these kids from such a young age that these kids are being confused. And on top of that, if you get a parent in the home that says, hey, listen, little boy, you're not a girl. I mean, I saw you picked up that Barbie. That means you want to be a girl. No, man, it's
Mm-hmm.
just a boy that saw something that interested him in a doll. That's all. If a little girl picks up a little toy car, that doesn't mean she wants to be a boy. That means that little
Mm-hmm.
car just drew her attention. Yet we are
Right.
abusing the most vulnerable form of human life, which is at a child adolescence. We're abusing that, and we are
Mm-hmm.
having governments strong hand that and do that to our kids. And again, you might not be on one side or another, but you might be affected. Divorce happens. Nobody wants to get divorced, and divorce happens sometimes
Mm.
out of nowhere, right? And you might find yourself on the receiving end that they are trying to transition your kids. And not only that, they will give them, for example, like hormone blockers that are doing like irreparable damage to these kids.
Well,
These kids,
this is what's actually starting. I mean, not only the dad lost this part of the custody, but he's also being told that he has to pay $5,000 a month. I don't yeah, I don't think I'm gonna
that is
comply with that.
insanity.
So now
Insanity.
I mean, you have to pay, and then the mom is a doctor. So look, here's the thing, man. What other? I guess if we're gonna put it this way, changing your sex is probably it will be for any person out there. If you're an adult, it has to be well, not really changing your sex. You ain't changing your sex, but
Yep.
making modification to your body, it has to be a serious decision, right? So people think about this for years. People go through psychologists, people go through doctors to do this thing. It is already stories out there that they know that they are prompted to suicide. They go into depression, the medication. But this kid is 7 years old. This kid is not. Again, he doesn't have the ability to make a decision like that. Not saying that when you're 20, you should make that decision or you're smart enough to make that decision, but you're already an adult. This is a kid, right? And when last time I checked, when adults abuse kids, the government steps in. That's why we have groups like Department of Social Services and all that. But if you're going to change your sex at the age of seven, I mean, what other decisions should you make? I mean, like I like what Tucker said one time from Fox News. He said, "Should you get a tattoo? I mean, should you start smoking cigarettes? Should you join the service? Because if at 7 years old you could decide to be a girl, I mean, what's next? And again, they're gonna pull him through all these medications that have insane side effects. Insane. And then there's actually, I don't know if you've seen it, but there's actually a video out there of the dad, and he's actually talking to him.
I've seen it. I've
And
actually
you've
covered on
seen
my
it?
channel. Yep, and he's answering
It's
questions.
it's disturbing, man. And then I see the little kid dressed like a girl, with a dress and all that. And I mean, I got angry. I got angry about it. And I thought to myself, how sick is this to dress a little boy that is 7 years old? At that point, he was like 5 or something, like a girl, man. This is sick, bro.
It's
Like
satanic, man.
pedophiles. They do that stuff. You know what I'm
Let's just
saying?
call it for what it is. It's satanic, to be honest. That you're abusing children like that, and you're abusing the confidence of children like that,
Mhm.
and putting them through these process. This will be called insane, right? A couple years ago, right? But yet
Mhm.
nowadays, this is like no. This is natural. This is he just wants to be a next thing they're gonna change, and they want to be animals. He wants to be a cat, and you got to respect him because he says he's a cat and he's a dog, and he says and the little girl says she's a unicorn, and you got to respect her and call her little Miss Unicorn or some craziness like that. I mean, this is like La La Land, man.
Yeah, yeah. This is what well, this is what happened when you deal with not reality and when you want to make things that are not real true. I like what my pastor said. My pastor always says, "You're entitled to your own opinion and to your own truth. You can believe whatever you want. It doesn't mean it's right." You know, I mean, you can believe whatever you want. You're entitled to your own opinion, your own truths, but it doesn't mean that it's the right one. But the thing about this is that we already have transracial. You could be white and say that you are Filipino.
Yep.
I did a video about that. The guy here in Tampa, he wants to be Filipino. He rides apparently Filipino. I'll be offended if I'm Filipino. You ride a little bicycle and he make his hair pink.
So,
He's like,
so,
yeah,
he's using all the Filipino stereotypes, at least what he
yeah,
believes.
I'm like, are you kidding me, man? That's offensive. But and then he went through counseling, and the doctor, the psychologist, psychiatrist, whatever, she was like, oh, that's fine. I mean, this is education. That's not fine. Your job was to tell you, no, dude, there's something wrong with you, man. We need to figure this out, right? You could be transracial, you could be trans age. We got the
Yes.
guy that was 69 years old that
Mm-hmm.
wants to identify as 40.
Okay. Uh-huh.
You could change your sex and pretend that your DNA is not a man and call yourself a woman.
Mm-hmm.
So again, we playing in a place of not reality. We have kids in high school and in college that are competing for like Connecticut or Massachusetts 100 meters sprints, and then next thing what, I suck at sport. I suck at it. So now I want to identify myself as a girl. Now you identify yourself as a girl. Now you're winning state champions. Now you're getting scholarships that were assigned to females given to you because you want to identify as a girl. But a year ago, you suck at it.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
as a man, you suck.
As a man.
Now you want to destroy the girls, and it's insanity too. How, but where are the feminists at? Like, where are the feminists standing up for women's right, like real natural women's rights? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's insanity what these people are doing. But I mean, this is like the world that we live in nowadays, man. There was actually a guy in Canada too. He was like 50 something years old. He had a whole family, like 5 kids. He decided he divorced his wife or got separated from his wife,
Yeah.
and he decided to be a 6-year-old girl.
Mm-hmm.
Called Stephanie.
Yeah, where are we gonna be 20 years from now? It's scary, man. When we're playing
Yeah.
in this game of and then I think this is crazy because this is the nonsense that you see a lot of times. You see a lot of this nonsense in the United States. The same people that hate our country, they do this nonsense here. I tell you, I've been in many countries: Spain, Turkey, Dubai, Iraq, Afghanistan, Japan. I mean, I got a list of countries that I've been. Try to pull this nonsense in Afghanistan and let me know how that works out for you. But
Afghanistan.
but you hate this country, and you talk bad about this country when this country actually allows you to do the nonsense that you want to talk about. If that make any sense.
It does make 100% sense. They criticize this country so much, and yet this country allows them to give them the freedom that no other country gives them. I mean, it's insanity where we're at. And again, it starts with a lot of the manipulation and information that is fed to these kids via the school system and via the media and et cetera, et cetera.
All right, let me. If you guys got any questions, put it in the comment section below, and we're gonna talk a couple questions. We're coming up to an hour. Make sure you subscribe to the Valentine Show. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Share the video if you want to support the channel. Obviously, there's Patreon and things like that down there. I definitely appreciate that. Somebody had a question. Angel said, "Food shortage."
Mm.
I mean. Here's the thing with preparedness, man. I want to just, if you have anything to add up, Valentin, you can add up. But we wait until the last moment to prepare, and it costs money. Like people flipping out about ammo shortage right now. I don't flip out about ammo. You see that safe there? I got enough ammo. I don't have a crazy amount, but I got enough. Before somebody do something to me, I got enough, a good amount of rounds. Just little by little. But I do have, if you go in the channel, I do have rice and buckets that I bud and I store rice. And I actually just recently posted a video. Yeah. And it was pretty cheap, man. You buy a bucket at Home Depot. You buy the Mylar bags. You store the rice. There's videos here in the community. I actually got out a video that I did 5 years ago storing all this stuff. And I actually opened it up the other day, bro, after 5 years.
You don't have anything on me.
Yeah, I've been eating out of this bucket for a while, man, and it's delicious. The rice is great. So,
listen, man, I actually have looking at them right now. I'm looking at 2-pound bags of 100. I'm sorry, I'm looking at two 100-pound bags of rice.
Yes.
In my home. I have them right here because they last a long time. I mean, they're not gonna go anywhere. And again, and it's great to be like you were saying, it's great to be prepared before the craziness happens, because you never know. I was one that I was not preparing. I'm actually preparing little by little, right? Again, I bought these 2 bags of rice. I bought them probably like a month ago, and I have them there. The elections are coming. This is like the next very important date. The elections are coming. So if President Donald Trump does get reelected, which I believe he will, there might be some craziness going on in the country because he got reelected. So right now is the time to prepare.
And remember this, because I see this all the time here in the community. There's many things on preparedness. Get a piece of paper and write it down, because you see a lot of guys here in the community and they like talk about guns. And don't get me wrong, guns are cool. I love guns and I love, enjoying doing all this stuff. But guns are not just the whole preparation. There's you can't drink guns. You can't eat guns. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then the thing about preparedness is that preparedness, you doing a preparation to go through an event more comfortable. Sometimes it's gonna suck, but you can make your life a little bit more comfortable. And what I'm saying is, like, for example, we go through hurricanes. We got a generator. We have
Mm,
gas. So right there, we could cool down. We have the fridge on. At one point, I'm running an extension cord because I had it on, and I'm powering my TV, the PlayStation. The kids could play video games while out of the generator.
mm.
So is it really necessary? No, it's not necessary. Obviously, in survival situations, different. But you know what? The hurricane just passed. We have no electricity, and the kids got some. You know how the kids get bored. They got something to do. And so again, things like that, like you could plug in an AC unit and cool down a room. Because I'll tell you what, man, day 4 of no AC in the house, no lights and all that, the wife is like, "You taking me to a hotel?" she was like, she was like, I mean, 4 days, it
Hey,
was like, "You taking me to a hotel. I'm out of here." You call a hotel, and then the lights came in the next day. We're like, "All right, if tomorrow the lights came in." So I was like, I saved myself some money. But the wife is like, "I'm done. I got to take a shower. I want to go to the hotel and just chill and relax."
yeah, we're not
So,
having it. Yep.
yeah. All right. So, anybody's out there, make sure you put some comments. Let me know what you think. Let us know what you think about the show. It has been a blast. Richard said, "Don't forget the O2 observers. Essentially, that's something that you put inside the miler bags to suck that oxygen out of it, and it's supposed to last longer. If you go to Amazon, there's all kits on buying all the stuff, and it's way better than paying a company. Some of these companies will charge you an arm and a leg
Yeah.
for stuff. So, um,
I looked
other
at
than
some
that,
of the companies there, and they do it costs a lot, and a lot of the food
mm,
is not for, like, for example, I was looking at a company, and it was like $700 for, like, for one person for a month supply, I think it was, and I'm like, that's so
yeah,
much. I mean, I have
yeah.
to do my whole family, so I'm I need more than that, so uh
One little mistake that I made, man, that if I can go whenever I do it again, is that I actually got I think I put 30 pounds of rice, about 30 pounds of rice in every bucket. I wish I would have done one bucket and put like 15 pounds of rice or
mm,
10 pounds of beans and
mm,
maybe some sugar. So like that, you have a bucket that has several different things instead of, and easy too,
mm,
when you open it up, you have 15 pounds of rice before, versus 30 pounds. That's just a lot of rice.
mm.
So one bucket is one of those situations that you could grab a bucket, throw it in the car, and at least you have rice and beans. Which, if you're Hispanic, I mean, that's like,
So that
I'm all about rice and beans, bro.
that's necessary. We do not function without rice and beans. We do not. We cannot get up. We don't function properly. Our brain does not
Yeah, yeah,
work
yeah.
if we don't have rice and beans.
You
And it
you
doesn't
won't
matter what you.
you won't offend me if you tell me I eat a lot of rice and beans. I'll be like, yeah, man, that's a true statement. All right. So, anything you want people to know, anything where people want to watch you, anything you want to say, you got a few seconds here. Let me know.
Thank you, Fabian, man. As again, I love here coming and commingling with you guys and with the people, your community, and the people that you have here, and what you have built so hard over time. Which I have followed you on my personal accounts like a couple years back, and you've been putting in the work and the frustration caused by YouTube and gunning the band
Mhm.
channels and like that, and the way that we are under attack constantly. And
Mhm.
because of the attack that we conservatives are, I have launched a movement from my channel. I don't know what's gonna happen from this movement, but it's something
Yeah.
that I'm gonna keep talking about it constantly, and it's called hashtag conservative dollars. What that is eventually, effectively, is that you support the people that are supporting your way of
Right.
life. For example, so
Mhm.
one thing that I'm doing, even though I want to watch, I am not watching the NFL. I'm not watching Major League Baseball. I'm not watching the NBA. I'm not watching none of that because all those things they support a company, Black Lives Matter, that
Mm-hmm.
wants to destroy me and my way of life. So why am I going to take my hardworking conservative dollars and send them to them? Or why am I going to give them my views via YouTube, via social media, because they're still making money off that? I'm not going to do that. And again, this is a way for us conservatives to fight back.
Mm-hmm.
We need to fight back. I know and I understand that we're kind of, it's not about being scared, but we have more to lose, right? We don't want to go and start doing these crazy protests. We want to make it home at the end of the day, because we have family
Right.
that's waiting for us. We have long careers. We just want peace and quiet for the most part, conservatives. And
Mm-hmm.
this is the way we fight back, and go support companies that do fight for you and what you believe. For example, like Goya. Goya does not sponsor me. I'm doing this because Goya, they have shown to support the president and stick up for some values, right? Another company that a lot of you guys know is My Pillow. Whenever you want to buy sheets, go, instead of buying My Pillow, go buy. I mean, instead of buying Macy's or something like that, go My Pillows. Again, I am not linked. I'm not getting anything. I'm not giving you guys a link. None of that. This is just we guys, people that love the Second Amendment, people that are Christian, people that are conservatives, people that love the United States of America. We need to fight back because they're trying to destroy our way of life. And the way we do it is by having discipline, the discipline
Mm-hmm.
enough not to send our hashtag conservative dollars to companies that are destroying our way of life. That's just my little thing there. You could follow me. I'm on the Valentine Show on Facebook. The
Mm-hmm.
Valentine Show on YouTube. On YouTube, I have a live calling show, which is great. You get to call me and talk to me. A lot of on all the topics that I do, and it's Fridays, 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern. There's a live
Yeah.
calling show. Thank you, my brother, and thanks to all the people that are here on the stream tonight.
Yes. Yes, man. It's pretty cool that you do that live thing. I always wanted to do that. I just never figured out how to do it. But I'll tell you what, that you have a lot of trust because I'll be scared to do a live show because I got some guys that hate me.
Hey, you gotta go. You roll with the punches. You gotta show them that they are the crazy ones. You know, and
Yeah, I
you
know.
gotta give them a good conversation. That's how it is, man. You gotta keep shedding the word, man. That's how we gotta do it.
Got me. You got a couple guys that went up there and subscribed, so we definitely appreciate that.
Thank you.
AOG is an awesome guy. Richard is an awesome guy. There's a bunch of awesome guys here. Mateo was here. I mean, everybody. I don't like mentioning names sometimes because I miss somebody and then people get mad. But all you guys that support me here, you guys are fantastic, and I really appreciate it. I'm gonna just end up by saying this: life is crazy. Life is crazy. Everything that happened in the United States is crazy. We're seeing kids that moms want to turn them into a little girl. We're seeing the things that happen in church. We're seeing all the stuff, but the good Lord is in control. That's how it is. And, sometimes we got to think about that. And I said this in many of my videos. I think I said it in the interview that I had with you. I'm going to say here it again. I said at the end of the videos that God is in control. I said, reminding me, because a lot of times people think that I'm just pushing God. I'm reminding myself because I
Mhm.
get so wrapped up sometimes around, maybe the Marine and me, the whole security and all this and all that. And I kind of forget sometimes. So at the end of the video, after I'm done talking about all this stuff, I'm hoping to remind some people and I'm hoping to remind myself that all this thing is nonsense. God is in control and he
Amen.
will make a way, bro. He will make it. I believe him, dude. I believe it with all my heart. I
You
believe
and
it.
you and me both, man. Sometimes we could go crazy trying to control and micromanage every
Hmm.
aspect of life. We gotta let her know God is in
Yep.
control.
Every single day, man. When you go to sleep, ask for forgiveness. When you wake up in the morning, thank you, Lord. This is another day. What do you want me to do today? You ever think that? You ever think about waking up in the morning and being like, Lord, what do you want me to do today? Point me in the right direction because I want to do something for your glory. If the country could do that, imagine the difference that we will make, man. If people wake up in the morning and instead of dealing with nonsense, being like God, because this nation is one nation under God. That's
God,
people forget that. Like people say all the time, well, the separation of church and state. Who told you that God was supposed to be separated from the country? is the state, the government from God, but it's not God from us. That
Yeah.
was never an agreement, you know.
People
But
mistake that little quote there when they say separation of church and state. Separation of church and state is meaning that the government is not gonna force you
yes,
to serve God, but the government, you take out $1 right now, it says in God we trust. So the government is putting in God we trust on the
of
US dollar.
course.
So that means the government is involved with God. They're not gonna force you, and you don't, if you don't want to, that's on you. But this
Mhm.
country is one country under God.
Anyways, we're getting into something else. We got to leave this for the next week or whenever we do this again. So this will be a conversation at a later time. I appreciate everybody's watching. All you guys are fantastic. Thank you so much. If you want to support the channel, make sure you share the video. Share this video somewhere, Facebook or wherever people share videos at. Really, really appreciate that. Stay tuned for more videos. And as always, God is in control.